That is sensational, even by his standards.
Oh, take a bow, son. Take a bow.
That is an iconic moment in football, and as Andy Gray said, take a bow, son, take a bow. So take a bow, because Simon, we're joined by the one and only, the legend that is Paolo Di Canio. Paolo, good afternoon to you. Ciao, come stai?
Ciao Jim, ciao Simon, I'm very well. I can see you, I can tell you, you are younger than ever. You look very young.
I don't know. Working with Simon Jordan every day, I don't feel it. You're looking pretty darn good as well. I'm loving the spectacles. I love the glasses. Where are you? Don't tell me that's your house, is it?
Yeah, my house in Terni. I'm in Umbria now because fortunately 3 days ago, my daughters came back from London. You know, they have 5 days in a quarantine. And then we spend time nearly together. We can stay close to each other. But I'm very happy because I didn't see her with her husband for a few months. And now we're joined together again. So we are happy.
Wonderful. We are happy, are we not, Simon, that this man is joining us?
He looks like Pietro Savastano from Komodo.
Oh, no,
Ciro Damasio. Ciro Damasio.
No, from Gomorrah. No. In Italy, they call me the new Sean Connery, the Italian Sean Connery.
Okie dokie. I can see it.
That'll do for us. How much have you been enjoying the Euros, Paolo?
Fantastic. It's obvious that I couldn't imagine to see a few very good games after 1 year and a half that was very tough for every clubs, for every nation, around the world. We're talking about the Euros. And to see some quality, as I saw in few matches, I couldn't imagine the high tempo, especially because obviously when you play in London, like tonight, you have 17 degrees approximately, but around the Euro, in Italy, in this moment today, there are 38, 37. And for England, was tough a few days ago when they played against Ukraine, because even if they played at 9 o'clock in the night, of course, but was really hot. You should see at the beginning of the game, the tempo was very low. First of all, because Ukraine thought only to defend in the last third, of course. And then because it was really hot. But I'm very impressed to see England play at this level. Italy too, because I have to tell, not because I'm Italian, Italy played a very good football with high tempo. I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
Denmark, we're talking about the teams that today and tomorrow we play to get into the final. So I'm very happy because we saw a very good football until now.
Paolo, it's incredible, really. Italy have won each of the last 13 international matches, unbeaten in 32. How have they managed this? This is an incredible run.
Nobody could expect it, to be honest, because Mancini took the club, the national team, in a very bad moment. He made a sort of a revolution. That in some way helped him because he wasn't, he didn't feel the obligation to call all the adult players that gave a lot to the national team, but they were close to the end of their career. You know what I mean? And then they used to go maybe play with the national team without the same passion than in the past. And he was capable to deliver the principle and the right mentality into their players' mind. And that is not easy. It's something that Southgate did with the English team. That is magic for me because 32 games without lose in any level is really difficult. When you don't lose for 10 games in a row, it's already not coincidence that you have this run. 32 games.
It's unbelievable.
Now, it's something incredible. It's not about the record because it's obvious now it's the new record for Italian national team. But in the way it happened, make even more different because in these Euros, in the last 5 games, if we take out the game against Austria, where Italy were surprised for the organization of the Austria team, to be honest, if Austria had a chance to go forward, there wasn't nothing to say because Austria did very well against Italy. But the other 5 games that they played, they did very, very well. So I'm very impressed. I'm very happy to see Italy at this level after many years that we weren't protagonists in some way.
Well, I think tonight, I don't think there'll be much between the two sides, Paolo, with Italy and Spain. What do you predict tonight? And also out there, is there enormous interest on what Italy have achieved and the fact that they're on the brink of getting to the final?
And now they got more pressure. It's obvious that when you get into the semi-final, everybody, including myself, we expected now to win tonight and go to the final because they have a big occasion because they play as a team. But you can't underestimate Spain. Never. It's difficult to predict something because usually to say that the details make difference. But in this moment, in a game where you play for in or out, everything can happen. So one mistake for one player can change completely the way in the game goes. You are in top of the game, and maybe you can keep the ball for 30 minutes in a row, but maybe you don't score. Long, maybe delivery, your defender missed the ball, 1-0 to the opponent, and then it's really difficult to come back in this moment of the season. So it's difficult to predict, but the two teams have the similar situation because since 2 years ago, Luis Enrique and Mancini, they have the same path in the way they build the team. So a mix of adult and experienced footballer mixed to the talented player that play already at the top level with their own clubs. So I'm curious to see and watch the game tonight, but it's obvious. I hope that Italy can go forward and play in the final against England.
Okay, now you're talking. Here's Simon.
Paolo, not just because you're here and not because one of my best friends is Italian, who is one of your biggest fans. He's from Pescara and he supported, born in Rome, supported Lazio and West Ham, so he adores you. And I have to mention it. Apparently, you ate in his restaurant in Marbella called the Pasta Factory, and he loves you and wants you to know that. But I've been tipping Italy throughout the duration of this tournament and anticipated an Italy-England final. But do you think two things? Do you think it's an advantage that the Italians are playing the semi-final away from Italy so that the pressure of the home crowd isn't on their backs and they're playing at Wembley Stadium? And do you secondly think that they've been involved in some of the most difficult games during this tournament? And I think they will overcome the Spanish, but yet again, it's still a very challenging game. Do you think this will have a debilitating effect on them in this game and if they get past it, the final? So 2 questions. Is it a benefit to be away from Italy, playing away from home? And all the games they've played, will they drain them a little bit when it comes to the final if they get past the semi-final?
So the first question is easy to answer for me because it's obvious that for me, always it's better to play at home in front of 60,000 people. It's obvious. It's natural to say this because the first 3 games that Italy played at the Olympic Stadium, 16,000 people sound 160,000 after 1 year and a half without crowd on the field, so you should see in their body language, in the way they celebrate the goals, in the way they look at the stands around them, so this is a big advantage. Play away from home is not
reduces the pressure though, doesn't it, Paolo?
Yeah, but it's a pressure. But when you play in the way Italy play, England played already, you don't think about the pressure because you can feel
you can raise
as a
to
group
you can rise
individually. You can raise it. You can raise it. You can handle the pressure in some way because you feel something special. So you don't have even a time to think, oh my God, if tomorrow I fail the mission, I lose something. You think only positive in this moment, because especially for Italy that missed the chance in the past World Cup, that didn't qualify. This is a new group that feels something special, For the second question, sorry, I forget for a bit.
Which was all the games, because Italy have had quite a substantial run of teams. We've played the Ukrainians, and with respect to the Danish and the Czech Republic, you've played bigger games against better opposition, will it have an effect where these games you've had to play extra time against the Austrians and you've played slightly more difficult games? Do you think it'll have an effect on the overall performance of the Italian side if they get through to the final?
Okay, that can happen, but also Spain. Also Spain had, extra time that played with a very high intensity emotion, because against Croatia, for example, Spain, before to score the fourth and the fifth goal in extra time, they were under risk because Croatia created 2 clear chances and they were nearly to go out. It's obvious that they have an extra lift because they went further. But in this moment, for the energy they have, it's difficult to think that physically they can have this problem. But every team that gets into the semi-final paid a price in some way. And depends of what in the way they will start the game, in the way they will approach the game, and the strategy that the manager delivers to them. Because it's difficult to say to your players, okay, start very slowly, and then the second half we go and we try to have a high tempo, to press more higher. It's difficult to change strategy when your team for 6 games and was a team that with high intensity try on the ball and off the ball to go forward and press.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be back with Paolo in a second. He's coming to us live from his home in Italy. We've got you, Paolo. We'll return to you in a second. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back with you. I think Paolo's got a birthday on Friday. Have you, Paolo? It's a birthday on Friday. Your birthday.
Yes.
yes it is. Okay, well, what a nice present it would be if Italy can get to the final of the Euros tonight. Back with Paolo Di Canio live in just a few minutes.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.